Bill Carroll, Zenny62 Media, and working my way once again through the 2024-2025 college football watch list that I'm going to have going into the season for players that I'm going to highlight, and then preparing, of course, for the draft to follow. I'm going to start with a couple of transfer portal cornerbacks who have found new homes and I think are going to make an impact where they land. I'm going to start with Cameron Alexander, who is now on his third team. Having started his career originally at Sam Houston State, then made his way to the Roadrunners of University of Texas San Antonio, and now in his sixth and final year is out at Oregon. And it's Kameryn, Alexander. He is a graduate. He's a senior academically, but he's already graduated, has his degree already. He is a terrific cover corner, but once again, not afraid to tackle. In his time at Sam Houston State University, in 32 games, he had 52 total tackles, 41 solo tackles. Once again, that's that, about almost 80 percentile, but right about 80 percentile number. That's what you're looking for. It's great in a man corner. 6 tackles for loss, 3 interceptions, and 16 pass breakups. And then when he gets to Texas San Antonio, terrific. I think he had one of the best seasons of any corner in the country, to be perfectly honest. In 13 games, he had 15 pass breakups, 2 interceptions. And when you throw on the tape, you see a player who could play at any level. And guess what? He is playing now at any level, or at the highest possible level. He was the MVP of the Frisco Bowl when Texas A&M beat Marshall. He had 34 coverage snaps in that game, 0 catches allowed, 1 interception, 2 pass breakups. This is just a flat out terrific player. Also, though he doesn't do a lot lately in special teams, he has done some in the past. If you go back to the 2021-2022 season, he had over 20 yards of return as a kickoff returner. And what else I will say is when he was back in high school, he was terrific in kickoff returns. Admittedly, it was a long time ago at Manville, but 25.6 yards per kickoff return. Also was a terrific track athlete. He made state qualified in both the long jump. Yeah, in the long jump. So, things you like about him. Once again, he's going to come in at probably about 5'10" and 5'8", but he's got good length. Once again, terrific in coverage. He's got several, absolute shutouts in his career. And Sports Illustrated's Max Torres spoke about him, called him just a complete shutdown corner. One side of the field's always closed down when he's on the field. I expect him to bring that to Oregon. Mr. Torres and I agree. I think people who have him outside their top 10 corners in this upcoming draft class either just haven't seen him yet, which is possible, but I think he's terrific. I'm going to roll over to Aamir Hall, Aamir Hall, who began his career, another transfer, came out of Mount St. Joseph. Shout out to my friend and co-host on Draft Central. Draft Central. Mr. Jeff Barnes, who also attended Mount St. Joseph. But he comes out of Mount St. Joseph, finds his way originally to Richmond out of high school, plays in some games there. In spring of that spring season, in a 4-game season, he had 3 starts that spring, was 4th on the team in tackles, at 18, including 10 solo stops, also had 2 pass breakups, and had a really good game against a good William & Mary team on the 6th of March, which sounds wrong, but had a good game. Had 3 tackles in that game. Also had a good game against Elon, had 3 tackles against them as well. He then had 11 starts returning back to the fall of 2021, 13 pass breakups, and of those, 10 of those were in conference play. Had an interception against Villanova, once again, playing up. That's a very good team. I mean, that's one of the better teams in the country. Also had a sack against Stony Brook. Physically, he's a powerful defensive back. So that's something that I think allows him to move up in competition, which he just did. And then in his last year before he transfers to Albany, 9 games at Richmond, had 28 tackles, 17 of them solo, 11 assisted, 1.5 tackles for loss, including half sack against Virginia, playing up in competition, forced a fumble against Virginia in that game on September the 8th, had also a quarterback hurry against Virginia, had 3 pass breakups, and had an interception against Sacramento State. When he gets to Albany, he continues to play at a super high level. He had an interception against Richmond, right? His old school. Also had a really good game against Marshall, playing up in competition. 3 solo tackles and an assist. Also had an interception in that game, which he returned for 12 yards. 2 pass breakups in that game. Playing against Hawaii, had 1 solo and 1 assisted tackle. Also had an interception. So once again, up in competition. He's played some of his best games against some of the best teams he faced. He's going to come in at probably a little over 6 feet tall. I'm going to say maybe about 6 feet and a quarter. Probably going to come in about 202 or so pounds. This is a guy who has size. He can play safety. He can play corner. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I know Oregon is going to be playing at least initially at safety. Michigan's going to play him. Well, I guess we're going to try him in a couple of different positions. He's going to play even some in the slot in certain situations, but he is a player. And once again, the frame, right? He has the size you look for. He has the attitude you look for. He's unafraid of coming down into the box, but also can cover deep down the field. Just a lot to like about Aamir Hall. So I'm expecting him to just take off right away, hit the field early in his Michigan career. Probably played a couple of different positions. Both those guys are impact transfers in the defensive back position. Once again, Bill Caroll from Zenny60 Media, going to come back with 2 more prospects or maybe 3 more prospects if I'm feeling generous again tomorrow. Once again, I will see you soon.